Hello? Good morning?
Oh, I don't know about that good,
Hello?
but morning!
Oh gosh. My dog is causing a ruckus outside my door right now.
Oh my
Throwing a
god,
little
your little.
tantrum.
What? Your dog
Yeah,
throwing tantrum?
my dog is throwing a tantrum. I swear he's a toddler. Um Good morning everyone. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about this topic, which is Thanksgiving. I put the title Thanksgiving Thankfulness. I hope you like that. Because despite this hell of a year, you know, I do,
Understatement.
this is, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Despite the hell of a year, I do want to talk about some good things that happened to us this year that we're just thankful for in general. Because, I mean, Thanksgiving is, yes, you get the food and like more food and like even more food, but I
And them
actually,
desserts, though.
yeah, no, I actually, this used to be my favorite time of year. I say used to be because now it's complicated, but it's well, you know what? It's still one of my favorite times of year because Thanksgiving to me holds so many memories and just God, I love this time of year. And it's fall and it's not freezing like it is in December. It's perfect. And I know a lot of people like Halloween and that's great to get scared, but I hate getting scared and I love getting scared, so I also have a love-hate relationship with Halloween. But Thanksgiving, it's all about the food, baby. And for some people, it's family. Um, and other people they don't like the family. But it's just like for me, I love visiting my family, and my tias come to visit. God, great time of year.
Your
Absolutely love it.
family's huge, though.
Yeah, my family is huge. I have a very huge family, and I love them. I love them so much because they're wacky, kooky, crazy, and I love that. Ugh, love this time of year. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about why we love or why I love Thanksgiving. Because what is your favorite holiday actually? Did we even talk about that?
uh, I don't. Like, we haven't really talked about it, like, on the podcast. It's like, we've talked that it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, Christmas movies. But obviously, we can get into those details, like, in December when we
We
actually talk
will.
about Christmas and stuff.
Which I'm super excited
Um,
for.
they like as I've gotten older, I don't really like a lot of holidays. Like I like Halloween, yeah, but like I stopped really being able to celebrate it when I was like
Aw.
mid-teenager just because it's like a lot of my friends like I wasn't able to get access to a lot of my like childhood friends growing up. Like I know one family had like a lot of drama happen to them and
Oh.
they were no longer living in the neighborhood that they were living in, which is where we did like Halloween, we did like the Harry Potter premiere parties and things like that. Like my neighborhood was never ever like my neighborhood growing up was right there next to UAB, so it was never a good place to go trick or treating anyway.
Right, right, right.
Um Thanksgiving was all like I remember Thanksgiving being good because like we'd go up to Tennessee where my dad's parents lived and we'd have Thanksgiving with them and a lot of times my mom parents would come with us
Mm-hmm.
and have Thanksgiving there. But a lot of these like family holidays kind of just fell off the boat because I lost my granddad when I was in middle school. I
Mm.
lost my grandmother when I was in high school, and then I lost uh my dad's parents basically with like in a year of one another. So
Mm.
like I'd lost all of my grandparents by the time I was a like my freshman semester in college.
Right, right.
And it kind of basically fucked with the entire balance of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Oh my God. Excuse me one second. Doc, stop. He did a borf outside my door. He knows I'm awake, and I have he hasn't seen me at all today, and he knows I'm awake, so he's like, "Borf."
what a terrible mother.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Terrible
Continue.
mother.
We were talking about something deep and dark, and then my dog barfed. I'm so sorry.
Well, like, I guess I can forgive him since he looks like such a dork.
I love him so much.
He's so cute.
Okay, but
But
yes, please continue going. Yes, continue,
right.
please.
So, like, I don't know, like, and then I got out of college and got into the workforce, and I've never really had an opportunity to really celebrate it because when I worked retail my first job. I worked there for through 3 Christmases and 3 Easters. Actually, I left Easter Sunday in 2017, my retail job. Um, and like I didn't get to celebrate anything. Like, yeah, I
Hmm.
had Thanksgiving off and yeah, I had Christmas off, but I'm like, cool, I'm working until like 2 a.m. to get this shit together.
Yeah.
And
Before
then
you,
it's like my last year, it's like a huge virus swept through our store
that's
3 times because the general manager wouldn't follow OSHA regulations that if you're throwing up or a diarrhea, you need to stay home for 24 hours. No, we had to report.
shit. Well, before you do that, I also want to give props to this next 2 months. It is going to be the hardest for retail workers
Oh my
because
god.
you're dealing
Like
with.
I don't I'm so glad I'm not doing Black Friday.
That's the thing. Like we're in the middle of a I'm sorry. Like we're in the middle of a pandemic, right?
Right.
These there's going to be some crazies out there who are going to go
Oh
out on
god.
Black Friday. And I'm like, well, do you know now, at least where we are at in the South, they have divided
Mhm.
the time. So Black Friday will start in the evening of Thanksgiving. And then, you have to wake up early in the morning for the following day. And that's what Black Fridays has been lately, at least from my experience, which honestly is a lot better. Because I have a story on
That's
that
been
as
a
well.
thing. That's been a thing since like 2013.
Yes and no, because again, we'll get to that. I have a story on that. But
Okay.
yeah, so props to all of the retail workers for real. Y'all are the real MVPs, and I,
Oh my god.
I'm just like
I
capitalism
will
in
fight a
America.
Karen for a retail worker.
I mean, me too, because it's just. We'll get to Black Friday because I do have some stories on Black
Mhm.
Friday, but continue. I just wanted to give some props to the retail workers. I was one of them, and like I just know what you're going through. I'm happy we don't have to work on those days now in
Oh
my
my
new
god.
job, but I was there. I felt what you felt. and,
Right.
and like it's terrible because a lot of the retail workers are like college students or young adults
Right.
dealing with these, you know, Karens. And it
Admittedly, when
just
I worked retail, like Black Friday was never awful. It was when we got into December and 2 days before
that too.
Christmas is when it
Yep.
was shit.
But it
Like,
starts
I'm not even joking. That like we worked right next to a Best Buy, so obviously Best Buy was gonna have like really awful Best Buy and Target. Best Buy and Target were gonna have like really awful Black Fridays because that's what they did.
mhm.
That's kind of their market. What we did, and I'm trying not to like name names, what we did was like seasonal shit. So like
Yeah, yeah.
we did Christmas fucking hard. So when Christmas rolled
Yeah.
around, we were fucked. And I got some
Mhm.
awful retail stories about Christmas
But we
at
got to
that
hold off on
job.
that too.
I will hold like God.
Oh, we can hold
God,
off
my
on that.
last year there was awful.
But yes, continuing. We're talking about good, thankful things, good times,
Good,
good vibes.
good times.
But you were talking about the holiday, and you worked retail.
Yeah. So I like obviously because we had Thanksgiving and Christmas off when I worked retail, like I was able to spend those days with my family. Um, and that was kind of fine. Like I wasn't always like Christmas Eve I spend it with my mom's sister and her family.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of what we've morphed our Christmas tradition too. It's like we used to spend Christmas Eve with my maternal grandparents
Mm-hmm.
and my maternal family. And then Christmas Day, we would have our little personal family things. And then in the afternoon, we would drive up to Tennessee and spend the rest of the day um, with my paternal grandparent.
Right.
Um, so when my maternal grandparents passed,
Mm-hmm.
um, like we kind of morphed it to where we were still doing maternal family Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So I wasn't always able to get that with retail because I would have to work Christmas Eve. Um, and then I worked at a call center, and call centers, it's an answering service specifically, so answering services do not close. They
Mm-hmm.
are 24/7, 365, 366 days a year. Um, Everywhere else is shut down because of snow. We're fucking open. Everything like forwards their phones to us. If there's a tornado coming through, we're still open. We're still taking calls. So I would have to work at least part of Thanksgiving or Christmas along with New Year's.
Right.
Um, so depending on who wanted all the hours and who could cover for it, like some people, we had to work a minimum of 4 hours if we were going to work. Some people are like, sure, I'll work 16 hours and get that holiday pay, and I'll let three other people go spend time with their family or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to either, again, close
Right.
or the equivalent of closing Christmas Eve. I'd probably roll up to my parents' place at like 11 at night, or if I was able to get off in time, I would be rolling up for the last 10 minutes of Christmas Eve with my aunt and family and such. But it's like I guess corporate capitalism has kind of ruined holidays
Yeah.
for me.
Oh, I mean that's sad, but I get that. I get that, and it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like it's one of the things that's like it's sad, but you do understand where it comes from. But I don't know. I never liked Thanksgiving per se because I'm an extremely picky eater.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
extremely, extremely picky eater. So I'm just sitting there and like there's 20 different dishes and like I'll eat two, maybe three.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, that also makes sense. I, on the other hand, am the exact
You on the
opposite.
other hand.
Let me tell you about my Thanksgiving. It's a lot. So, first
And
off,
I wasn't.
no, yours is, but like you're gonna hear the excitement because I'm actually super excited. So, our Thanksgiving is a little different. We do things a little differently in my family area house because, first of all, my parents are immigrants. Were immigrants. My dad is now a citizen, but came here.
Oop.
Um, and my mom was an immigrant from. My dad's an immigrant from Mexico, and my mom is from Aruba. So when we got here on the South, everyone's talking about Thanksgiving and being with their families and all of that. Um, when I was young, we would try to do Thanksgiving. It just we didn't understand it, right? As as regular Americans, especially in the South, right? We never
Mm-hmm.
did the turkey or the stuffing or anything like that when I was like really little. Um, now go to the beach. Yeah, no, it's awesome. So we never did that until my dad became a pastor. And then we realized none of our church family, none of our church congregation goers actually had like knew what Thanksgiving was either, because it's not celebrated in Mexico and or Aruba. It's a very American holiday. And I think Canada has their
Mhm.
own Thanksgiving as well. But it's a different
My
day.
understanding, yeah.
Yeah. So, but we just never celebrated it. So we're like,
Right.
okay, well, let's try and celebrate it with our church family. So what we did is at our old family home where we had like this
Hmm.
huge yard and like a lot of land. we decided we're just going to celebrate Thanksgiving and have a giant party. But we're not going to do American Thanksgiving. We're going to do Mexican style Thanksgiving where
Spice it up.
yeah, no, where everyone would bring a what is it? A
A
piece of
dish.
home, yes,
Oh.
and bring it to the house so everyone can eat. And at first, it started small, and then they started bringing their friends, and then those friends
Oh
started
no,
bringing
no.
their friends, and then my aunts from all over the U.S. decided to come.
Oh my
And it was
gosh.
like this huge party with a bunch of kids. And our house is small. Like our family house is just a tiny log cabin. So everyone is spilling outside. They're playing inside. Like, it's just big. It's now big. And our congregation is not that big. All right. We have at most at the time that I remember, maybe 60 people. So
Oh, that's not a lot.
well, it's 60 people plus their kids, and then my aunts and uncles will come, and they'll come either very very early and then leave early, or come in the middle and then leave late or whatever. Uh, so it would start, and again, this is a Mexican party, so it'll start at like 1 in the afternoon normally. Because we would say, hey, it needs to start at 3. No, people will start coming in at 1
Oh my
to
god.
help set up and everything. And then
Okay.
it will last from 1 to like 11 or 12 in the evening. It's a whole day thing. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was fun to bring my friends in high school, to invite them over for like a Mexican style Thanksgiving. And because like I hear, oh, I have to go, we're going to do a family Thanksgiving and it's only like a few hours and then it's done. Not for us. It's a party. And it became tradition. It just became tradition. So, oh gosh, I know we did this for like over 10 years.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and our last one was the year before my mom passed, right? Because she was the one who honestly is just the life of the party. Loved, because what we did is we'd play card games or board games or video games with other kids, but mostly for us it was like card games or board games. We'd play like just a bunch of stuff, you know, and it was fun. And like they'd play poker or like the loteria, if y'all know what that is. It's like uh Latino bingo or Mexican style bingo. um We just played just like a bunch of games. Oh, we'd also play soccer and kickball because we just had a lot of space.
Like, you can't fit everyone inside, so it's just like everyone needs to go
Yeah.
outside.
And like you
So,
see the
question.
adults, huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but since you brought up card games and board games and stuff, and I know how you are with a certain game, did y'all dare to bring out Monopoly
No,
during
it
this?
took too long. We don't have the attention span for Monopoly. We had to keep it like chill.
I
We
figured
played.
it was one of those things. It's like we couldn't risk destroying the family on Thanksgiving.
No, the last time we played Monopoly was on Christmas last year, like with my family, like the big group of our family. And
Yeah.
it lasted 2 hours. And
Oh.
there was a lot of yelling and like, oh, it was fun. But Monopoly we take too seriously. Okay, but yeah, no, we never bring that out because we knew. Um, but we'd bring like Life or Clue, or like mostly it was just fucking
Yeah.
card games and learning how to play poker and stuff like that. It was just fun, and that's what I loved about it. And like, when I hear everyone else's stories about like Thanksgiving and that they don't really like their family and they don't like their family don't see eye to eye, or they talk politics, and when that happens it's just rough. I'm just like, well, my Thanksgiving we just party all the time. We don't talk about anything serious. We just have fun and eat
Because you
a lot.
like culturally, your family knows how to have fun. Culturally, my family just has stick up their ass.
Yeah, no, it's just like we just have fun. That's just it. We just have fun. And it was such a big tradition. However, when my mother passed, because she was the one who brought all the games and all this stuff, and everyone's playing like go outside and play kickball or soccer, and it's just fun. So when she passed, you could tell like there was something missing. So the following Thanksgiving, we didn't do anything in memory of her. Okay. So we just because we couldn't plan it without her, we couldn't really
You
do
weren't
anything.
ready to do it.
No, we weren't. So that was the one year that everyone kind of did their own thing at home.
Yeah.
But you can tell people missed it. Like the church just missed it very much.
And that
Um,
was what, last year when it happened or 2018
this
when it
my
happened?
mother passed in 2016, so the year of
Okay.
2016, because she's passed in the spring of 2016, uh, or like the winter of 2016. So yeah, fall of 2016 we didn't do it. It was just too
Yeah.
soon. I
Yeah.
think my dad left to Israel
Oh,
around that time, and so like there was no one, you know. My brother and I and my sister, we like my sister moved by that point, so me and my brother were trying to do some stuff for Thanksgiving. We hung out with a family friend, which was very kind of them. They opened their house to us because duh, it was tradition and they knew it. You know, they came to our Thanksgiving, so we did our best and stuff. And then the following year, 2017, you know, we tried to do it again. It wasn't the same, you know. And that's
yeah.
why I'm like, it doesn't hold that much for me anymore, like Thanksgiving, just because it didn't have the same vibe. But you know, my dad remarried, and now they're trying to start up the Thanksgiving tradition again in their new home, which is a lot closer to their church than what it was, you know, in our family home. And they also have a huge piece of land, so you know, good for all the games and everything. Um, but again, it just for me, it doesn't feel the same. But I'm glad that they're having fun. Like it's just a bit of a trip for me to go there, but I'm glad like the church is still having fun and they're recreate like holding on to that Thanksgiving tradition. Now I go to my in-laws and it's just it is very culturally different. I will
So
say,
are we gonna get into this? Do I need to
yeah.
say it?
No, it's culturally different because I never had cranberry sauce like a
Okay,
normal person. Like out of a
okay, wait,
can
hang on,
or
hang on. Let's clarify cranberry sauce. Did you have cranberry or canned cranberry sauce, or did you have homemade cranberry
homemade
sauce?
cranberry sauce.
Ooh,
I've never, and I tried it, and it was just,
it's white people's food.
Yeah, I actually tried a cranberry, right? I actually had like a cranberry, and I ate it, and it was very sour, and I was like, this okay, this is what this. All right then. I mean, it was fine, but it was just
It's
it was
white people food.
strange. And okay, another thing, I
Yeah.
never had what was it? What do you call it?
Is it
Oh
green
no,
bean
excuse me.
casserole?
No, I was like my mother passed in 2017. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think around that. But because I'm trying to get the years. So after she passed in like 2018 and 2019, um, I've been trying to go to my in-laws. You know, after the first year, you know, we try to go to our in-laws. I never really had turkey because my mother made this amazing like honeyed ham. It was so delicious with like pineapple
Yeah.
chunks and everything. It was perfect. She tried to teach me how to make this because everyone loved that ham. And she tried to teach me to make it. Me and my tia. Of course, if you try to teach me to cook, it's never going to stay. She wanted to keep it in the family, right? I lost
Mm-mm.
it. I lost the what was it? Family tradition of making a ham. It was on me. I don't know how to make it. But my tia does. So she tries to make it, you know, recreate it. And oh my gosh, fuck, man, the ham is the best. So I had ham every Thanksgiving because we're just
Right.
not turkey people. We've
And
had goats and like what was it? Oh yeah, sorry, we've had goats. I know you love goats, but we had goats and we had like full pork and just
I don't think you
everything.
understand, like, my husband was a goat farmer, so he didn't like, he loves goats, but he also, like,
Eating them?
understands it's like there are meat goats as well and has no problem
Mm-hmm.
having meat goat or, like, goat
It's
meat.
so good. And we ate everything except turkey. We're just not turkey people, right? We just didn't know how to do the turkey thing with the
I
stuffing or the
don't think a
dressing
lot
or
of
whatever.
people realize that, yeah, turkey is the American trope, but a
It
lot
is
of
very
families
much.
actually don't do turkey. My family doesn't really do turkey.
Yeah, well,
Like, they
okay.
do ham because my dad doesn't really like turkey. My dad likes ham, so we'll do ham for him.
Yeah, yeah, I love ham. Oh my god, I love ham. So, when we had
Ponyo,
turkey,
ham!
yeah, it's like when we had turkey, it was interesting cuz like I never had like the dressing or the stuffing or whatever, and I just didn't know
Right.
how to eat it. Like, how do you eat this stuff?
You
I don't know
pile it
how
all on
to
your
eat it.
place and just start shoveling it
But I will say the way
in.
my mother-in-law makes the turkey is amazing. It's so
Right.
good because
Right?
I think it's because she knows I kind of need flavor. So she'll pack it on for me, and it's just delicious. Fucking love it. So I'm excited to eat the turkey this year. She just good, so good. It's so good.
I have a
Um,
question for you.
yeah.
Have you ever had fried turkey? Deep fried turkey?
No, I haven't. I've never had that. Is that a common thing?
It's it yes and no. It is kind of common, but it's a very dangerous approach because it is deep fried. And if people haven't properly thawed and dried off their turkey, it can cause a grease fire and like bubble up really
Oh,
bad.
I see. I see. I
Like
see.
every year, like what is it, Food Network, and I know BA Kitchen on YouTube, like everywhere, like every chef will re-release videos on like you have to be extremely careful when you are deep frying turkey.
See, I'm okay with not deep frying. Ours is just stick it in the oven, baking. I guess.
Right.
I just man, honestly, 10 out of 10. It's good. It's not better than the ham. I'll give you that. It's never gonna be better than the ham, but it's good. I really enjoy it. So now my traditions are changing. I do want to continue. Like I want to go back to visit my dad one day and see how the Mexican Thanksgiving is holding up. Because like I said, we had tamales and
Ooh,
pozole or consomme or some kind of like soup.
not American.
Yeah, and then we would have like what was it? We would cook a goat and eat every part of it. Like
I'm just very curious how y'all would cook a goat.
we would okay, so we have a fire pit made in our well at least this is what we did
Okay.
last time. We had a fire pit made in our um
On your
house in our family,
property.
yeah, on
Yeah.
my family home. And they bought this giant ass like bowl thing, like a pot bowl thing, and they will boil it first. Like, well, of course they'll skin it and do all that stuff, and then they will
Okay.
boil the meat so it could like fall off the bone, and then they'll put some sauces. It's a long process. It takes hours to do this, so that's why when it's ready, everyone lines up and eats it. It. My dad will have to explain it to you because it's a long process of doing it. But I know they brought this giant ass fucking pot thing, and the men, will take turn watching it and cooking it because it's so fucking huge, you know? And I'm just like,
I'm
this it's and you can see our fire pit now because my brother uses it because it's just
yeah.
like it's huge now. Like it's oh my gosh. But they did it.
I
They make fucking did it.
I like hearing you talk about people cook is always really amusing to me because like it almost sounds like you are watching magic happen.
Well, yeah. I don't know how to cook. It is magic to me. It's so magical to me. It's a process I will never get. Um, but yeah, I do want to go back to see my dad and see how they are holding up with the whole Thanksgiving because it's a unique thing, and I'm glad I grew up with a childhood and what was it, teenagehood, I guess is a way to say it, of just being able to celebrate in that way. Because now as an adult, and I'm going with my in-laws and seeing my other friends, it's so quiet having Thanksgiving. And I don't like that it's quiet. You know what I mean? I'm so used to partying it up and staying up all day playing, like, what is it, kickball or cards or board games or video games, or like, because we would also play Mario Kart, and that shit was, ugh, that was intense too.
That oh yeah. It's
And
not family ending, but it
right,
puts a strain on it.
yeah, and we just sit and talk and catch up with a lot of people we haven't seen in a while, like my aunts
So
and
like
my
a true
cousins.
family holiday.
Yeah, because on in Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving, in Christmas, you
Mhm.
kind of have to stay with your immediate family because, of course, you want to trade gifts with your immediate
Right.
family and the kids, and that's more personal, right? And like respect for that. But for Thanksgiving, you have no obligations. You don't have to give gifts or anything, you know. You can just be there and have a good meal and just have fun with each other. And our church family, not just our regular family. We just invited everybody. And then, of course, my brother would invite his friends, or like I would invite my boyfriend who would invite his friends, like, or my husband now, like, invite his friends. It's just,
You
it's,
know, honestly, how your family is, like with your extended church family and everything, it almost sounds like what happens with my in-laws. You'll
what do you
start
mean?
off, like our my father-in-law will start a party one
Mm-hmm.
year, and it's obviously his family is not small, and he'll invite his two brothers and his sister and all of his nieces and nephews, and he has his children and then his in-laws. And then it's like, oh yeah, my best buddy from college or the best buddy who lives here in town, and like six of them and all of their wives and all their children. And that's one year. And then the next year it just grows.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
next year it grows even bigger.
Yeah. And I
And
love it.
everybody is inviting everybody else. And I'm like, yeah, I got that on my in-law side too.
Yeah. And I honestly, I can respect that. I quite enjoy that, being part of that. Um, However, the downside is this year with
Yeah.
coronavirus, I don't think they can do it this year.
I was about to ask if you know what's going to be happening with that.
No, I don't think my dad really tries hard to minimize the
So he's
effects.
taking this serious.
Well, he
The
has to
pandemic
because
serious.
there's a lot of our church family who is just not able to afford to go to a hospital right now. So he's trying to put his church family first in this situation where he's like, he wants to respect that they're probably going to get sick if they expose themselves too much or anything like that, and it's harder for a lot of them, you know. So I think he's going to try and have a party, but a very small one, not a big one, you know, just enough with, you know, it's not going to be just his family. He wanted me to be there, but I couldn't be there because I'm going to my in-laws. So,
And your dad and your in-laws are not close,
no, they're
like at
not.
all.
Oh, close it by distance, not like close,
Right, right.
not by emotional closeness, just distance wise. They
Physically
don't live,
distance.
yeah, they don't live close to each other.
Like
One
my
is,
family and in-laws are like within an hour of one another.
yeah, mine is not like that. Mine is like
Right.
5 hours from each other, 6 hours from each other. So it's a distance. Um, so yeah, it's harder to you have to choose between one and the other. You can't just have it.
And
So
especially in your case.
yeah, so this year we're going to my in-laws, but we're going to celebrate Christmas with my family. You know, which is going to be fun. I'm actually very excited for it. And then yeah, so it sucks that this year it's kind of put a damper on all the holidays. Honestly, you can't do anything because of the virus. And that's what sucks. Like I can't I just ugh. However, comma, I wish
Mhm.
they would do something about Black Friday, cuz you know there're going to be some crazy people.
Like,
So,
I mean, there's Cyber Monday already.
there's not enough for people. Let me ask you, because this
Yeah.
is still part of the whole Thanksgiving Christmas stuff. What are
Seasonal.
yes? What are some Black Friday stories do you have? Because I got a few.
Uh, okay, so I don't really have like specifically Black Friday stuff. I like when I worked retail, like I told you, like my Black Fridays weren't that bad. My first
Yeah.
Black Friday, I was there opening I guess at 7 a.m. I think is when we opened, maybe 8 a.m. Very early in the morning, and it was not that bad. Like, yeah, we had people lined up waiting outside, but they walked in very calmly and were like, especially early in the morning, they were all very respectful. It was actually pretty slow until about 11 a.m. It wasn't that bad. We got new people coming in, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so terrified of like Black Friday," and I'm just
Yeah.
like, "I promise you, I brought." Well, it was like I guess it was like my final year. I'm like, "I promise you, it is not that bad. It is
Right.
not that bad. It like Christmas is gonna be worse." And then I got sick. I was laid up in bed for like 4 days or something. Terribly, terribly
Shit.
sick.
Right.
I missed out working Black Friday. And like they like all my little babies were offended. And these are
Nah.
people that are like older than me, were offended that I was
Right.
not there for them. And I'm like, was it bad though? Like, no. But you weren't there. I'm
Right.
like, I
Right.
know I
Right.
wasn't there. I was dying. But no, in high school, my senior year in high school, I had my wisdom teeth removed the day before Thanksgiving. And
Mm.
so I could not really eat on Thanksgiving
Oh
Day,
no. Yeah. Oh, that's the
but
worst
it's
feeling. Well, for me at least. I have to
but
eat.
I could eat like mashed potatoes, so that was fine. That didn't bother me at all. Because that's one of the dishes that I would normally eat anyway.
Right.
Um,
That's like the worst
but
feeling
like
though.
my face had bruised really
Oh,
bad.
no.
So coming in that Monday, like we were closed, like my school was closed for Thanksgiving. Like we had a half day before Thanksgiving. We were closed for Thanksgiving. We were closed for Black Friday and then closed for the weekend. So I come in Monday with bruises all over my cheeks. And like like I think one of my classmates knew that I was getting my wisdom teeth removed, but the rest of them didn't. And they're like, "Abby, what happened to your face?" And I'm like, well, it's like Black Friday, there was like this really great deal on a TV, and it was the
Oh
last
my
one.
gosh. Oh no.
And then this other lady really wanted it, and my parents had entrusted me to make sure to get it. And I'm like, sorry, fam, you can't have it. Like, my family
Right.
wants it. And if you think I look bad right now, you should have seen her.
Shit.
And I can't tell you how many of my friends actually believe that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because they did those bruises on my face actually
That's
did actually
insane.
look like punches because my mom was like, your bruises look really really bad, Abby, and she like made a fist and like placed it against my
Oh my
cheek, and it
gosh.
actually matched her her fist.
That's
So,
amazing.
and it had like it was pretty dark and it had yellowed a little bit. It was really fucking funny.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So,
I I can't tell you how many people actually believed me.
that's amazing. Just sticking in wool with it. Just like the scar on my hand. Remember, I got that from saving an old lady. That's
Right.
what I did. Yeah, that's the story
Hmm.
and I'm sticking to it.
You
um,
punched a car for her.
oh yeah. That's why I got the scars on my hand. Um, I have several stories.
Yeah.
So I remember on Black Friday. Well, I'll start with the good stories before I go with the terror
Oh.
that is.
Oh no.
Yeah. So again, as tradition, all the young folks, once I had a driver's license, and we could leave, we would decided to
The
continue the
town.
party. Yes, we decided to continue the party by going to Black Friday in a city that's about 45 minutes away from us, like a huge city, right? Birmingham. We've talked about Birmingham, away
Birmingham.
from us. And so we would visit the city and we would do Black Friday shopping in the mall, right? Every year. We would take our cousins, We'd go take our friends. We normally take two cars, like separate cars, just to fill up, because they thought this is going to be the perfect time to get some good deals on last minute gifts, right? And it was before now. Black Friday deals Black Friday deals suck ass now. I'm just gonna go out there and say it's been sucking ass for a few years. But
But
back
yeah.
then, but back then they were like legit good deals. Like the first 100 who go through the door, they will get something for free, right? And that's how it was back then. Not anymore. Now nothing is ever free. Nothing. You only go there for what, 30% off something? Come on, what is with that bullshit?
Right.
Anyway. So we would go and we would check out everything, just look around and get some gifts. And I liked the atmosphere because it was always buzzing at like 2 a.m., right? Before they start implementing the whole we're closing at a certain time and then reopening at a certain time. So before it would stay up all night. Now they don't do that. Um, so like I just loved it. I just had fun. We would go out, we would go shopping, and there was a lot of people there. They were all respectful. I don't think I had a Karen come in and like steal something from me. You know what I mean? I never had anything like that. Everyone was just having fun. Uh it was about 2 years ago, 2018, 2019, 2018. That was our last, what was it? Black Friday shopping, because we did what everyone normally would do, right? We went to the mall like we did, except now there was a shooting, and of course, everyone was freaking out
Were you
because there was a
there during
shooting.
the shooting?
Yeah, I was there. Like that was the point. So, when my family was there, we went in two separate cars. I went with my husband, and they went in their own car. And of course, we had at the time, 5-year-old, 6-year-old there with us. Um,
Is that your little niece?
yes.
Oh my
So
god.
they were there. And I remember we were wrapping up and walking out. And the thing of it is, the entrance we took, or the exit that we took, was very close to where the action happened. So I think it was a blessing from God that, we left at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is how quickly it went. We went to the parking garage and went up the elevator. It was still very close to the mall, so you could still see the mall, and hear everything that's going on. We exited the elevator and saw just a mass of people running.
Oh my god.
And we were like, what's going on? What's going on? And the people were running and screaming. And we're like, what
That's
is
like a
going on?
max of 5 minutes.
Not even that. It literally lasted like 2 minutes, if that. We were out of the mall and went up the elevator. Literally took 2 minutes. It was so fast. So of course I freaked out. I called my cousin, who had the little niece. I called her and I was like, "What's going on? What's going on? Are y'all okay?" I couldn't hear them because by that point,
So much noise.
yeah, there was a lot of noise. And then I heard there was a shooting. There was a shooting. My heart dropped. And I was like, "Holy crap. Of course there was going to be a shooting." Like, it takes one person to just ruin everything for these people. And I'm talking about the mass of people who were there. I never wanted to feel like that again. My family thankfully is okay. They ran as far as they could to a apartment complex. There was a family who was very kind to pick them up and drop them there.
Yeah.
However, they never invited them into the house, so they were standing in a cold with a 6-year-old, which made me mad
Right.
because
Like I get why they didn't like invite them in, but it's like at least I don't know, drop them off at like a restaurant or something where they can
something
be
warm.
inside. Yeah.
I was livid. So I called them and they told me that, they were terrified. They were so scared. Um, so we went to pick them up. It was a very good distance away from the mall,
Yeah.
and we picked them up, and you could tell they were just terrified. The girl was like shaking and crying, and she wouldn't stop crying. Apparently, during this whole while they were running, there was like a stampede of people, and they kind of almost crushed her because like she didn't trip or fall or anything, but they were pushing her
She's
and like
little.
moving. Yeah, she's tiny, and like she had bruises because people were
Oh,
being so violent trying to push her away from this like stampede. It was awful. It was awful. So of course she's terrified. She didn't go to a mall for like months. She was so scared.
her.
Um
And I know
and
which mall you're talking about because
yeah,
that wasn't the first shooting that's happened there, and it wasn't the last one either.
no. Well, from at least from that I was just like it was so dumb. It was so dumb. And I remember talking to my cousins and we're like we're never doing this again. No, we're not doing this again. And they agreed. They were just so scared. That's like I don't want to ever do this again because it was terrifying. Um, and thankfully, the response, there was a quick response and reaction to get everyone to safety, which I'm very proud. I'm like very glad for. Again, for those workers, they knew what they were doing, and I was so happy for them because they were like my family was at an Old Navy, right?
Yeah.
And they hid behind, like they immediately locked the doors when they heard, because they heard the gunshots. They closed it down, like, and guided the people to the rear exit. What the exit that normal workers go through, like an emergency exit and stuff like that. Um, and that's when the stampede happened because everyone was rushing to this particular store trying to get out there, and there was just a stampede of people. Um, And I'm just like, Black Friday is ruined. We've never done it again after that because it took one asshole to just ruin it for everybody. And it wasn't even from what was said. It wasn't even just a regular like guy who brings a gun into a
Like,
crowded place. It was
yeah.
like a gang war or
Yeah.
something over a
That,
pair of
like,
shoes, I believe it was. And I'm like, you ruined perhaps like this just you for a fucking pair of shoes? Are you kidding me?
yeah. No, like, when, like, you said that was, like, kind of like 2018-ish. Yeah, that wasn't the first time that that mall has had a shooting. Like, there have been other shootings. Usually they happen in the parking lots or the parking decks, though, and it's always gang related.
Yeah, I was
Like,
just like, you
that mall has
fucking
basically been
asshole.
ruined with how many shootings there have been.
Yeah, just
Because I was never really a mall person to begin with, but when it's just like, oh yeah, there was a shooting in the parking deck over there, I'm like, cool. I have no problem never returning there again.
right. I'm just like, come on, y'all are just so fucking dumb. My goodness, I'm just so mad. And that was the last time I ever did Black Friday. Actually, I take it back. The following year, I decided to not do Black Friday at night because, you know, a lot of people just were there at the evening. So I decided to wake up instead early in the morning and do the actual Black Friday when it started at like 6. This is a funny story to combat the terrible one, right? I drive a tiny ass car. And I'm talking about
So
like
small.
heckin' tiny. Okay?
Like, I feel so cramped in it.
Yeah, I for me who is a short person, it's perfect. Um and I decided, okay, I'm going to this particular Black Friday at a Best Buy so I can just
Yeah.
get in and get out.
Yep.
I go and I wait in line like everybody else, and I got the free deals, because you get the first few. There's only like a select number of whatever. I wanted to get my husband a nice TV. That was my goal. I saved some money. I wanted to get him a nice, like, really good flat screen TV because the TV he had was old as hell and he just had a hard time parting with it, you know? So I was like, if I buy this TV, he's going to love it because he can't, like, Now that after comparing both of them, he'll know which one's better. you know. So I go in and I'm like, I didn't think it through because of course I got the TV, which was like 70 so inches, I believe. Maybe a little smaller than that.
Huge.
Maybe it's like 50 between like 50. No, I want to say it's like 70 something inches. We'll have to measure it. Anyway, it's a big ass TV, okay? I They're like, you can pick it up in the back lot. I was like, okay. I go to the back lot. And then it dawns on me. How
God.
am I going to fit this giant ass TV? I have a Fiat. That's what I have. I have a Fiat 500.
Tiny ass car.
I have a Fiat 500. I couldn't think of it. How am I going to fit this TV in my Fiat? How am I going to fit this TV in my Fiat? It's impossible. And the guy comes out. It was like cartoonishly hilarious. The guy goes out. He looks at my car. He looks at the TV. He looks back at me. And he's like, are you sure it's going to fit? And I'm like, yes, we'll try. We can try. So I had to put my passenger seat all the way down, like all the way down, to try and make this thing fit. And it actually like touched my dashboard and the window of like the front window. And I had to tilt it in a way that it was touching me. Like I had to angle it in a way that was touching me, but still had enough. I had enough room to drive, right?
Yeah.
And we made it fit. It actually fit. I was so happy because I had no way to attach it to the top of my car because that would have been hilarious actually, but I didn't have any way to attach it. I go down and I'm driving. I cannot see out of the my right side passenger window.
Oh my God.
At all. So I'm like,
Oh
okay,
my God.
I just have to go straight and pray to goodness no one's on the road, right? Take some guesses. It was amazing because the people who would look at me from my car would laugh. Like they would just laugh because it's a funny picture to see a giant ass television and a tiny ass car. And I was like, okay, next time I do Black Friday, I will not bring my Fiat. I can't do that because it's too small.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, I mean, as long as it could still take it, that's fine. That's great. But I thought it was the funniest thing. Again, so that was my last Black Friday shopping experience. And I wouldn't take that for anything. That was hilarious, honestly.
That's so fucking funny because it's like that TV has some weight to it, but it's not that heavy.
No.
It's what? Max maybe 30 pounds.
Yeah, it wasn't
Max.
heavy at all. However, it was just the length and that was it. The height and the length was
But here's the thing. When I worked retail, we had like dining room furniture. Like
oh yeah, no.
chunky dining room furniture. Like some of this like dining room tables would have to come in 2 boxes, which is the table part in one box and the 4 legs in another box. And together that was 200-ish pounds together.
Oh,
and
heck
people
no.
would roll up in like what you did, a little Fiat, and be like, you're wanting to take this today in that. I mean, like, we could fit maybe the legs into the car, and you don't have any straps to attach it to your roof.
Yeah. I come to learn now that, like, never to bring my Fiat for anything to pick up anything, unless it's like groceries. That's all it can handle. It's tiny.
It can't even handle me.
No, it's so tiny. Or my husband.
So
my husband is 6'2", and like it could barely fit him. My poor husband.
Like I'm not claustrophobic. I'm 5'11", and I sit in there. I'm like, it's tight.
Yeah, but for me, it's like it's perfect. I don't like. I've driven big cars before, and I prefer having a small car.
Right.
It makes me feel safer, from the big cars. Anyway, um, moving on. We only have about 30 minutes left,
Yeah.
and we haven't even started talking about what's we're thankful for this year, which I know it's hard with it being 2020 and this year has been absolute shit. However, I do want to talk about some things that we're thankful for. Like some and give some good vibes out into the world. So, what are some things that you're absolutely thankful for? We can start month by month, you know, spread some good news, stuff like that about this
Uh,
year.
like a lot of like I know like not great things have happened to you, but like awful shit has happened to like me and my family this
Yeah.
year.
Mhm.
Um, so like step by step, it's like I'm thankful that I was able to like Comic-Con like was early enough in the year that we could go
Mm,
and
that's
get
true.
and enjoy that because that is literally the only con we were able to go to this year.
Yes.
Like me and you both. It's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
oh cool.
That
Yeah,
was the last con. That was the
I'm like
last con.
I'm saving up money. I have weekends. I could absolutely go to other cons later this year.
Mhm.
No.
The one time like I could like cuz I had plans, cosplay plans.
Oh,
And I was so cuz we had this cosplay group which now is irrelevant because we did a KDA cosplay, but now it's irrelevant
yeah.
because they have a new video with new outfits and we're like, "Oh great. Now we got to get those outfits instead." Ugh.
Oh no,
Anyway,
how terrible.
yeah, but I was like cuz we did like a fan art version of that and we had a
Yeah.
group that we were super excited to try. But we never got photos, together because of the whole thing. And I was like, we should have just done it for Comic Con. Oh man, I wish we'd done it at Comic Con. I think they did, but I couldn't. Um, that would have been perfect. But Comic Con was the last convention, and I remember just having the time of my life. That was a good one, Comic Con.
Yeah. Um the second thing was or another thing that
Mm-hmm.
I am thankful for is like my mom and dad just being there through a lot of the really shitty stuff that has happened this year.
Yeah.
Because when I got the news, you know what I'm talking about. When I got the
Yes.
news, I immediately called my mom.
Yeah.
And she took off work and sent my dad to go get me. Um, I we moved out of our tiny, tiny fucking ass apartment into a condo that is twice the size of what our apartment used to be. And we have so much room.
And it looks
Um,
heckin' nice, by the way.
heckin' nice. My couch, girl, my couch. I'm so mad that
Yes.
we have like a fucking pandemic because I'm like, I want all my friends over to pile onto my couch. My couch is so nice.
Yes.
Um, I have I have not been able to bring my cat that I got in high school, who
Mm-hmm.
still lives with my parents. I have not been able to bring her down to live with me yet. Um, which makes me sad. But
I would say,
we
but
did we did save a kitty. One of our warehouse kitties had an accident earlier this year in like midsummer or something.
yes.
And he came to live with us. He was gonna recover with us, and then we were gonna
Yes.
foster him out. He was gonna go live with a forever home, but he just decided to be a cute little golden potato and live with us forever.
Yay!
So
Y'all
we know.
decided. Y'all decided he should be that.
I don't know. Have you seen his
Yes,
precious
I
little
have.
face? He's like, "You are going to let me live here.
I like
I like it
he
here."
is so much healthier. You can tell he's
He got a
happier.
little chunky.
I love him.
Even though
And he's
you don't
adorable.
come visit him.
There is a pandemic. Ah!
Yeah, we work together.
Oh, true. But yeah, keep going. Because I was about to say, you have to talk about your cat because your apartment is so big now that you can have cats
Right.
and like they
Like
can be able to roam around and not feel
like
like
our last apartment, it was abysmally small for like
yeah,
even two people living there. Like we could not have more than like two friends over at a time because it just would get so crowded.
right.
So crowded. Like we invited for one year three friends over for my husband's birthday and it was crowded with three whole
Yeah.
people. Um
So I'm glad you have space now. Like
we
that's
do
very
have
good.
space.
And you have
So much
space for a
fucking
cat,
space.
which you have. Like
Um
that's awesome.
I have become better friends with you. I have become better friends with Chelzor. I have become better friends with our third watch party buddy that we
Yes.
have. I've reconnected with a couple of people that I haven't really been able to
Right.
talk to in a few years. Um, I don't know like really anything else off
If
the
it
top
could
of my head that I'm like super grateful for. Like I'm thankful that like I have weekends off because of my current job, but
oh yeah.
it doesn't make up for everything else about that job.
Yeah. And to be honest, it is hard to find things that you're thankful for this
when
year because it's
when you've
just
had a year like this.
exactly. It's just hard. And it's just hard.
Yeah.
Um
What about you?
let me start. I'm thankful for Comic Con
Comic
again.
Con.
But we already discussed that because that was just amazing. And that was the last time we had like just a nice group of people, my friends hanging out and drunk adventures and everything. Loved it. I'm trying to think by the months. I'm thankful for huh. Let's see. I didn't do much. Oh, yes, I did. Holy crap. I got affiliate this year. Cuz I've been streaming on and off for about 4 years, And this year actually gave me the time to be able to just stream because uh, I had a part time job, but at a university, but it closed because of the pandemic.
Random?
Yeah. So I was able to like stream now that I had free time, more free time instead of balancing just two jobs um, to just chill. And I was like, I'm not going to just waste my time. I might as well just stream. And I actually made affiliate, having a consistent schedule, which I'm very proud of myself for because, like I said, I was streaming off and on for 4 years and it was just very inconsistent. Um, and I just didn't have any motivations after my mom's passing and everything like that. It was just hard. So I'm very proud of myself that I finally got out of the rut and found that passion again, which I'm very thankful for. And I've been trying to help other like people and other friends, my brother as well, to be like, if you want to stream, now's the perfect time. It'll keep you from going crazy because it actually helped me from going crazy, and I feel fulfilled. I know it's weird to say, but it does. Like I felt fulfilled, and affiliate just made it feel much better. Um, Despite not being able to see a lot of people, I do feel I've reconnected with so many people this year. Um, it was just easy, I mean, everyone was feeling absolutely lonely, and they just needed someone to talk to, which made it easier for me personally to talk to people because, like, I was one of those people who just needed someone to talk to because I was going crazy. Um, I just wanted to like, I remember I just wanted to travel to places, and I'm so grateful for my husband who would take me to these safe places so I wouldn't get into like coronavirus or anything, like away from masses of people or anything like that, just to have a moment of peace. Because we went to the beach, right, in South Carolina. I got to see a friend of mine there, and we did the whole mask and social
Social dis-
distancing and everything. Yeah. But it was when we were at the beach that, and it was not crowded, like at all. And we just took a walk on the beach. That to me was absolute peace. Absolute peace. Um, what else? Oh, I'm grateful for my husband, honestly,
About to say,
because
I'm like, I completely forgot to say that too.
yeah, no, I'm grateful for my husband because I would have gone crazy this whole fucking year if he wasn't there for me. Not and Lord knows he has the patience of a saint because I was literally going fucking berserk. I'm like, oh my god. What else? Oh, and I got to see my sister, and I have a nephew. What am I? I forgot to talk about that. I am grateful that I am now an auntie. I have.
Yeah.
I got to see my sister, and like for the first time in a long time, and I got to feel my nephew, in her little belly, and just I was so happy. I mean, it creeped me out a lot, but like it's, having something live inside you like that just creeps me out. But I'm so excited to be that Tia. Like I'm so 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 excited. And it's gonna be a while before I get to see them again, because of course the cases for coronavirus is increasing much more than it did in the spring. You know. So of course it's very dangerous for me to even think about going to see them again. But I hope to see them soon. If everyone would actually wash their hands and stay away from me. There we go. Please wash your hands and
King
stay away from me.
mask
And mask. My goodness.
over your damn nose.
Please. And then what else? I'm thinking by the year. No, that's about it. I was able to travel. Actually, apparently I'm still traveling in January. So there's that. Um because do you remember that place in Orlando? Or like no. Yes, that place in Orlando. That Disney World.
That
So
yes.
my in-laws are like, "Hey, we're going to Orlando. We got everything covered and we would love for you to come with us." And I'm just like, "Oh, I thought we weren't going to Orlando." And Jack was like, "Oh, we are going to Orlando." And I was like, "Oh, Disney World?" And he was like, "Yes." So we probably going to Disney World. I know I said no. However, we never canceled the trip with our in-laws. So I think we might be going to Orlando and possibly Disney World, unless, of course, they close it down because, like I said, the third wave is so
Say
much worse.
fucking Florida. It ain't gonna close down.
I don't know. Given enough dust, I think they will. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of Florida men out there anymore. You know what I mean? They need to
don't
keep.
don't give us that. This is the year that we're gonna get like a mutant Florida man, Corona man.
Right. So, I mean, that's exciting. I'm surprised my in-laws are still going. That's what shocked me. I thought they were canceled, but they didn't. So I might have another trip somewhere, which is fine. I'm excited for it. Oh, and I have another trip Jack is surprising me with for my birthday in December, which I don't know anything about.
But knowing your husband, he's not gonna like take you anywhere overcrowded.
No, he can't. He's very, like I said, he has asthma and other respiratory problems. He is super cautious, which makes me feel safe for him. Which I'm very excited for. Like, I'm very happy that we're going to take some time together. Uh, and it was very sweet that he did that for my birthday. So I'm very excited to go and see what that's about. But yeah, no, I'm thankful for those things and the things that are to come. Oh, I am thankful that we have a brand new president elect,
Oh my god.
because the stress I felt for the past few months. No, it was like, especially, it hit me harder after Halloween,
Mhm. Mhm.
where the world was tense and everyone was quiet, and then a tumbleweed rolls around down. It was that tense.
Oh my
I
god. In America, that was like insane.
the funny thing is, it was all around the world. I mean, not as tense as America because duh, America.
Right.
Everyone was watching all around the world. I was like, just that in general, the whole election process was the most stressful thing. And then being able to see, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm definitely not a Trump supporter. Being able to see everyone's relief. Everyone just you could hear it throughout the world, the collective sigh of relief that a lot of people had. And of course, we're
Oh.
still dealing with the president as of now. However, I have very high hopes for the future. And that I'm like super excited, honestly, because once our president, once the president elect becomes the president, then maybe we'll take this virus seriously and finally put an end to this. Because this is honestly
My god.
absolute bullshit. I can't, I want to go on trips with my friends. That's what I miss the
Right.
most. I want to go to
Like
conventions.
the fact that we had an election on top of like the shit show that's 2020 just did not help like at all.
I just want to pin
Like
trade.
I think I lost like another third of my hair from stress because
Oh
of
my
all this.
gosh. And it's like, I want to pin trade for the first time. Like, that's
Like real pin trade. Like
real
you've
pin
pin trade
trading.
with me and Chelsor, but that it's not the same. It's fun doing it with your friends, but it's not the same.
Okay, so like, I was talking to Jack too. It's like, if we do go in January, we're only going to one park, right? I can't pin trade though. Like, I can't do that. Because, like, you don't get that same kind of excitement pin trading. Because they changed it up for the virus, right?
Pretty sure they did. I know they've taken a lot of like the
Precautions.
performances away. They've like closed certain rides. I know they've done a lot, like a lot to change. And I don't like I could go watch what is it, Disney Food Blog is one of the places that I really follow to keep up
Yes.
to date on Disney
Yes.
news.
I have,
Um
listen, all those, I know we're going back to Disney, but let me just say, I'm thankful for Disney. All right. All
Disney.
right. Now we can talk about it.
Whitney.
I,
I was about to say if it wasn't for Disney Plus and all the Star Wars shit,
oh, yes. Thank
because
goodness
that's
for the
what me and
streaming
my husband have
services.
been watching.
Right. But what were we talking about? Disney. Oh, yeah. Food blogs. Disney food blogs.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes.
think I've seen videos on that too. Or just people going to Disney World. Actually, one of my classmates, one of my old high school classmates went to Disney World recently. And I was worried. I was like, oh, shoot. You know, how is it? Because everyone was asking them, is it safe? Is it okay? Which makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. And of course, it's Disney World. They go above and beyond to keep their parks clean. So I'm like, okay, that's great. They are having a great time over there. So, which is fine. But I think it still doesn't hold the magic because you can't like see the characters, in that way,
Yeah,
or
they've taken
have,
a lot of the character or meetings and stuff like that.
yeah, you can't have like parades anymore.
Hmm.
And that's just what's so sad. Heckin' sad, man. But anyway, thankful.
Yeah.
Thankfulness. I keep getting sad. I do keep getting sad. Ugh. I hope 2021 makes up for the year that this was honestly absolute shit. Cuz it was. But at least we have some things that were good within this year.
I do want it on record that it's like I'm thankful for my husband even though I forgot to list him.
No, of course you're thankful for your husband. And I'm sure he's thankful for you. Y'all went through a lot, this year.
Because he's
Um,
a
Go ahead.
I was about to say I know he's thankful for me because he's a good husband that like is very good at communicating and verbalizing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that those vows for better or for worse. I'm like that's very soon for the for worse part.
Just, I mean, y'all had to deal with loss and stuff like that this year. And I know that's hard, especially with that and a coronavirus, which prevents you from being with the people you love who can help. You know what I mean? That's just, ugh, it's just so hard. And I pray that you guys have a better year next year. Like for real. Y'all deserve the world. And y'all deserve a
Disney
vacation.
World?
Yes.
Disney
Y'all
World?
I was like, y'all deserve the world and y'all need a vacation to
So
Disney
Disney
World.
World.
Like for real. Just take a trip for yourself. Like y'all really need it, for reals.
I know. I need it
Um,
so bad.
yeah, you do.
That's like my boss doesn't know about this uh podcast, so I can say it's like I took Friday off because I was really done with work. I was so done
Oh,
with
you
work.
had a rough fucking week. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing, but we'll get to that. You had a rough week this week. And
Yeah,
like,
like October was rough for me with the boss being out for like weeks.
yeah. Also, you also had what was it? Because when you messaged me, you're like, "What if I take tomorrow off?" Dot dot dot. And I was waiting for your response, because you had those ellipses on there, and I'm like, she's not saying anything. And then the next morning, you're like, "Hey, I said I had a migraine. I'm not gonna be in." I'm like, "Yes, take the time off. You need a vacation, vacation." And thank goodness we have another 2 days off as well for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I bet you anything we're closing early on Wednesday.
I hope so. I really hope so, because I'm gonna take that weekend just chillax and eat until I pass the fuck out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I
Um,
can I'm thankful for my husband, but I'm also thankful for my grandparents-in-law. Um, because they were gonna do something and then they realized it's like, oh, there's gonna be a ton of people there, so we're not gonna do this. So how about you and your husband come visit us when you're done with your parents' place? And I'm
aw,
like,
that's so
okay, but you're gonna
sweet.
cook for us, aren't you? She's like, yes. I'm like, I will only come if you only cook something small and do not wear yourself out. And she's like, okay, promise.
Aw, that's
Good.
so sweet.
Good.
I'm glad y'all having some good Thanksgiving plans. For real though.
I don't think I've ever had a thing like even with my last boyfriend, like my ex-boyfriend,
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I and that was like 2011. I think for like 9 years I've been to at least 2, maybe 3 Thanksgivings every year.
Dang.
Because I know I went to with my ex, I went to my parents, his grandmother's, and his parents for Thanksgiving in 2011. And then I'm pretty sure for the next couple of years with my now husband, we would do 2 a year,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3, depending on who was where.
Right.
I I need I need just one Thanksgiving, please. Like I'm real tired of driving everywhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Still
One
though.
giant Thanksgiving and just let me sleep for the rest of the day because I can't just like pack on the pounds at one and then stay awake to drive to the next one. I can't like that.
Right.
It's hurting my soul.
Oh my gosh. Right, right,
I
right,
need my
right.
Thanksgiving nap.
That's true. Oh my gosh, those are the best though.
Oh, because it's like the perfect weather. It's usually at the
Yes.
perfect time, and it's like a food coma on top of
Yes.
that.
I can't wait to have the food coma set in. Like I'm so excited for food coma.
Tryptophan.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Um, I forgot one last thing that I'm thankful for that I didn't think of. I'm thankful that I lived for 30 years. My birthday was this past week.
Yeah.
Actually, I had my birthday this week. Um, and to be honest, I didn't think I'd be here for 30. I was talking to my stream on Tuesday, or yeah, Tuesday.
We.
or Monday night, because I
Tuesday.
no
Oh yeah.
Monday night I did a stream to ring in my 30, right? I When I was a kid, I thought
Yeah.
I would never live past 16. So I don't know why. I just like, oh, I'm just gonna die at 16. It was in my brain, right? Heck,
Like that's a very millennial thing.
maybe, yeah. But here I am at 30, 14 years later.
Kicking that.
I'm still kicking ass. I'm still here. You ain't got rid of me yet, world.
Don't
So
don't be tempting 2020 like this. Don't be tempting 2020 like this. This is the wrong year to be talking smack.
oh my gosh.
You
Listen,
fuck around, you
I
about to
already
find out.
no, I already passed that threshold. Okay, I am 30. That's it. I have passed that threshold. Now my new goal is if I can outlive Jesus. Because he died at
What,
33.
34?
No, he
Okay.
died at 33 or 34. So I'm going to see if I can outlast that. And be like, I can outlive Jesus. Let's see if I can do that. That's my new goal. But I'm just like, I'm happy I actually lived to see it. Like, honestly. And yeah, if this was a piece of shit year, however, it's going to be in my memory so that all the kids who come to visit me in my yard is like, oh, tell me the stories of 2020. And I'd be like, well, this was a horrible time for all of us Americans. All of that. I want to be
War
that bitch.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Triggered.
tell the young stories of the youth of tomorrow, stories of 2020. That's gonna be my goal. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I
You're
just
gonna
wanted to
have
say
to
I'm
do it
thankful.
over weeks, months.
Oh yeah.
So you're like,
It's
well,
gonna
in
be like How I Met Your
January.
Mother. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
like those.
God, no! Too long, too long. Cut it shorter. Cut it shorter.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that I will say I'm very happy to be, despite this year being the year that this is, I'm very happy to be here. So that's very something much that I'm very thankful for as well.
Speaking
But
of
yeah,
2020,
yeah. Is there anything else that you forgot that you need to be thankful for? Because if not, we can wrap
uh,
up.
no, but I did want to ask you something. I don't remember when, but there was definitely a moment, I guess around like August or something, where everything stopped being so terrible. At least to me, or it seemed like to me. Did you ever notice that this year?
I noticed there was a month that everything was too quiet.
Tracy?
Oh, hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah.
Hey. Okay, I was about to say. I did notice a time when everything was too quiet because things were going too smoothly. And of course your trust issues like feeling just intensifies. But I don't remember what month that was. But I do believe there was a period of time where everyone was chill. Or everything was chill. Maybe too chill. You know what I mean? That's
Too
the best way.
quiet.
Okay, listen. We've been hurt. We've been burned so much this year. All right? Like, yeah. I excuse my feeling of having trust issues. Because that was before the whole November thing happened. And like,
Yeah.
yes, my birthday was in November and everything, which is great. However, the first few weeks of November was the most stressful experience that I'm like, if this goes tits up, I don't know if I can enjoy my birthday. But it didn't go tits
Yeah.
up. And I did enjoy my birthday. So there's that. Hopefully it's just all uphill from here. Well, that depends on if this coronavirus thing can just calm the fuck down. That's all I
Very
need.
cautious about 2021. Like,
Me too.
we can talk about this for like a New Year's podcast, but I've already mentioned it to you that like shit went down in 2011 and shit that went down in 2001 that I'm just like, it makes me extremely cautious about 2021.
See, for me, it was always 2012 was when shit went down. because I remember 2012, everyone collectively agreed that was the worst year. And then 2016 happened and everyone collectively agreed that that was the worst year. And then 2020 happened and everyone collectively, there's gotta be a reason
But
for that.
like that's
What's,
for
hold
like
on.
a like people on people, but I'm talking like disasters that have happened that have impacted the world.
Hold on. I'm looking.
In 2012, by the way, that like I know 2012 was supposed to, like in December was supposed to be the end of the world.
Right,
But other
right,
than
right,
that,
right,
I
right.
don't. I may have repressed it. I don't know. I may have been in a depression because that's the year that my ex broke up with me for really shitty reasons.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, I see.
hmm So I don't really remember what happened in 2012. What that was supposed to be so terrible. Like
Wait a
in
second.
2000.
I'm
Wait a
unraveling
second.
I'm unraveling a conspiracy.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What?
So, that I said 2012, everyone agreed that
Yeah.
was a shit year. And then 2016, everyone agrees that was a shit year, right?
I do. I remember that like mindset in 2016.
Yeah. And then 2020 is the worst out of all of them. It just
Right.
kept getting worse. That happens every 4 years. There are 4 year differences between them. The one thing that they share is that they're leap years.
So
Every
it's
single
leap day. We
Yes.
gotta get rid of
All the
February
leap
29th. We
Fuck
gotta
the
get
leap
rid of
years.
it.
Fuck the leap years. Yeah, no, they were all leap years. And that's why everything is so shit. Holy crap.
Well, well, for me, what I'm pointing out is that in uh 2011 for the Southeast
Yeah.
United States was the April 27th tornadoes
Yes.
that tore through like 25 different states and had over 300 tornadoes
Right.
occur. Um, and one of them broke the record of tracking through, I think, 8 states.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was in April. But the month before that was the tsunami that hit
Oh, you're right.
Japan. So that was 2011. And then we'll go back to 2001, which is when the World Trade Centers were hit.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't come to that for 2021. I really do.
Right.
But everything you said
Right.
makes sense. I would love for us for a New Year's or like maybe, between New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah.
I would love for us to just create a list, and we can say it on the podcast, of predictions that you think is going to happen the next year. Big or
Things we
small.
would like to happen.
No, bad or good.
Bad or good, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be psychics for that day.
Okay.
To expect, I think that'll be a good idea for one of the podcasts.
I think
we
we're
can
gonna
do.
need to like make custom avatars for that. Make us really like witchy and psychic.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to do
well,
that.
like a crystal ball and like a really
I
like
would actually love to do a Christmas what was it? Avatar.
avatars.
I could just add like a
Okay.
little Christmas hat on top of mine or something. I'll figure it out. But I'd love to do that. It would be like seasonal, and then we'll do like a psychic thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good idea. But yeah, I have to get going. So, and it's already 1.5 hours.
Hey, you know what we didn't say what we were thankful for?
What?
We started a podcast.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened this year. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Holy crap, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so we started a podcast, and we're thankful for you guys, for the people here.
We have our life together. We promise.
Yeah, I know. So for the people here who stop by for just even a fraction of a second, just to check us out, we really appreciate you guys. But yeah, that's a good way to end the podcast, is that we should be very thankful that we even have this platform to just rant and rave about stuff. For reals.
Reels.
For reals. All right. I do not believe I will be here next week for the podcast.
Okay.
Because it is Thanksgiving and it's the holiday weekend for me, at least. But again, don't hold me to it. I'm still unsure of what the plans would be. So we may or may not have one next week. But check out our Twitter. I'm trying to update it more often. Check out our Twitter and follow us there at, what is it again?
What's your opinion?
Yes. What is your pen 10? We at least we'll try to update it a little bit more about shit that we can talk about or ideas that we have. Or any change in schedule, we'll post there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you soon. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving weekend, with or without your family, like with your friends, whatever. Because I know Friendsgiving is a thing. Just
Yeah.
remember to be safe. Please wash your hands, social distance, wear a mask, all of that stuff.
Over your nose.
Over your nose, please. But yeah, and I hope you guys have a good and safe weekend. All right, have a good one. And say bye. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.